What's up, Hayden? Hey, Bill. How y'all doing tonight? Joey, I like your hat. Is that a reference to mine? I got to prove that I live in Texas by wearing a hat every now and then, you know. Not that I have to prove that. Oh, yeah, I bet it's cold. It's not cold here. It's 61 degrees here. So I don't even need this sweater, really, but I decided I wanted to. Hadn't worn my Big Lebowski sweater in a long time. Hadn't had a hangout like this in a long time. Hey, Nudie. How you doing? Jim? Hey, M from Egypt. Wow, that's cool. What's in the glass? Oh, a little scotch tonight. A little scotch. Anybody else drinking anything? It looks like, you see how it looks kind of cloudy? That's called scotch mist. Hey, Chris, is everything really bigger in Texas? We like to think so. Rando, that's right. So, yeah, this is, see how it looks a little bit cloudy? It's called, you can tell it's a good non-chill filtered scotch if you, when you add water to it, it gets this sort of cloudy look. Scotch mist. I don't know what causes it, but it just means it's not chill filtered. What is not chill filtered? I don't know. I think it's something that some of the Scotch companies do for whatever reason. I'm not sure why they do it, but you preferably want a single malt Scotch that is non-chill filtered and doesn't have any caramel coloring added. And there's no caramel coloring added to this. Ooh, look how big my glass is. This is actual size compared to my head. It's perspective for you folks. Zane, oh my God, it's negative. Are you kidding me, Zane? Negative. Hey, Dalton, negative 30 degrees Celsius. I can't even fathom that. I think the coldest I've ever experienced uh, is 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe. Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, God, we were the majority of the United States was just frozen to death this past week. We got out pretty, yeah, 60 degrees, 60 degrees here too, Joey. It's 61 degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah, we escaped it, that polar vortex as they called it. But man, a lot of people were getting killed. A lot of people, like 18 people. Excited for the next. Oh, what M? What do you mean straight razor shave? What on earth are you talking about? I'm having a little scotch tonight. Having the Aberlour Abuna. I've heard it pronounced different ways. Abuna or Abuna. It's a lovely single malt scotch, the Aberlour Abuna. And this is actually cask strength. So they didn't add any water to it, so it's 59% alcohol. Can I do live more often? Well, I don't know. I don't know how many people want to see it live more often. I don't know. I didn't even intend to do this tonight. Or else I would have had one of those scheduled things. But as I was pulling into my driveway, I just got off work. As I was pulling into the driveway, I was like, I don't want to go to bed. I've been looking on my iPad a lot today. I'm kind of bored. I don't want to do that. I don't want to surf the internet or look at YouTube videos. I want to have a hangout on the porch. I haven't done that in a while. And I know there's going to be some people that see this. Uh, Nudie, I did do some voiceover work this past week, in fact, but I can't talk about it. I'm under a non-disclosure agreement for that. Um, but yeah, so I decided I need to come out on the porch. Have a yeah, it's freezing cold. It's in Chris in Florida. They call that in the low 70s. They call that a real weenie shrinker. That's what they call it out there when it's that cold. Um, yeah, so I did do some voiceover work this past week, but like I said, I can't talk about it. I'm under an NDA until further notice. You got one of those World War One Gillette? Oh, did you? Was it you that I was talking to earlier in comments that you were wondering whether a World War One Gillette razor would still work? And that's cool if you did. I've got that one from 1918 that I sometimes use, not very often. But I tell you what, that if you watch that last video of mine where I used that Parker 99R, that thing is insanely good. Hey Stone, yeah. Oh, good on you, Joey, for getting that old 100-year-old razor. Sorry, there's Someone yelling in the background. Across the fence. Midnight cowboy. Well, not quite midnight. Well, not here. 10:53 p.m. But yeah. Just wanted to prove that I love wearing hats. This is one of the hats I used to wear when I did back in college. I did Civil War reenactment stuff, you know, where you dress up and you do the battles. And this was not part of that. This was an offshoot of that, where you do the Old West thing, where you dress up like the Old West with your 6-shooters. And you got the holsters on and everything. That's what this hat's from a long time ago, and I like it. It's got the tie on it in case the wind catches it and won't blow it away. You can cinch it up. Look at this. Cinch it up like that. You can chew on the ends if you get hungry. Because of the ladder. So Joey, you've been shaving with a safety razor for just a week now, and it's that old 100-year-old Gillette. Tell me how it's going. What kind of you using what kind of shaving cream are you using? Using a brush? Using some Barbasol? Hey, I entered. Somebody hit me to the fact that Barbasol is doing a giveaway on their Instagram page, where if you follow them and you like that post and you like share it with someone. Yeah, that's right, Em. I save money by wet shaving because I'm not into, you know, spending tons of money on it. But anyway, so that Barbasol thing is if you like their most recent Instagram, and you know, I'm an old guy, but I know what Instagram is. Then they're giving away like these tins, these 100th anniversary tins, where you get like the 100th anniversary can, and you get some razors, and you get a hat and a T-shirt. So hopefully I'll win that. If I do, I'll show it to you. Thoughts on Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements? I'm not familiar with them. Just got the old one today. I've been using some generic Chinese one. Ah, good old Joey using a Barbasol. Using Barbasol with a 100-year-old Gillette. Can I ask if you ever done voiceover for acting for any? No, I haven't done any voiceover for YouTubers. Only done voiceovers for video games and dubbing Japanese anime into English, and what else? Just commercials, stuff like that. Some really cool stuff, some just boring stuff. And some I can't talk about. Yeah, the American Civil War is a fascinating period to study. It really, really is. It used to be fun and also a little hard to be in the Civil War reenactment stuff. CR7, I've been responding to you in your language, but I don't speak your language, and I have to use Google Translate to say hello back, so I apologize that I can't speak to you in whatever language. Hopefully you can understand a little bit of what I'm saying. But anyway, Google Translate is an amazing thing. Anyway, back when I was doing the Civil War reenactment stuff, we had to camp out sometimes. Sorry, I'm getting notifications on my watch about Little League. We would camp out, and it sometimes does get pretty dang cold here in Texas. I was Confederate because we're here in Texas, you know. I know. Sorry, CR7. And I do have an ancestor that fought for the Confederacy. I'm not a, you know, I'm a historian. I'm a history buff. I'm not into the politics necessarily of the war between the states, or the war of Southern aggression, or what do they call it? The war for states' rights, the war of Northern aggression. That's what the South sometimes called it, the war of Northern aggression. Anyway, I don't get into that whole aspect of it. I'm there for the history and what it meant. Thanks, Hani. Not honey, Hani. CR7 is Arabic. He understands a little bit. Yeah, exactly. It's heritage. It's, you know, if we ignore our history or we forget it, then we're doomed to repeat it. You know, and history is not pretty. History is, you know, it's different. It's something you should always remember. Yeah, no man. Anyway, that's enough about that. Thanks for the, yeah. This is my old cowboy hat from my old Western shoot 'em up days. And what am I drinking tonight? I'll have to keep showing new people. How you doing, Michael? Doing pretty good. I'm drinking Aberlour Abuna. It's a really good single malt Scotch that I was given for Christmas. Yeah, some people glorify it. People glorify it. People grab a hold of some things that they maybe shouldn't. I don't know. I recommend CAO from Phoenix, Artisan, best sold inspired bar. Oh, that's right. That's right. You were telling me about that, right? I live in Texas, CR7. Have you ever tried Gillette Original Shave Cream in the red can? No, I haven't. I haven't. Politics, yeah, exactly. I don't discuss politics on this channel, nor do I discuss religion. If you wanna hear that kind of stuff, believe me, there's plenty of people out there that would love to talk to you about it, but not me. Not me. Opinion about Cremo products. I've not tried them, but I'm kind of interested. Never gotten into Scotch. You like rye and Irish? Yeah, Irish whiskey's great. Have you tried? Is it? I think it's called Green Dot. I believe it's Green Dot. Green is it Green Dot? Green Spot. Green Spot Irish whiskey is a fantastic single malt Irish whiskey, and if you haven't tried it, get some. But rye is also good. I'm not a huge bourbon drinker, but I do like it. But Scotch, I'm a Scotch man all the way. See the Scotch mist? See, it looks a little cloudy. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. Is Badger brush better or artificial? I prefer artificial. What are your thoughts on Gillette commercial? Try the Cremo cologne. Yeah, so the Cremo, I've been seeing more about it, and I saw Mantic59 interviewing a guy from Cremo. Cremo, and I want to try it. Chivas Regal, good choice. My mom loves Chivas Regal. Let's see. Sorry if these comments go by so fast that I sometimes. Petered Irish whiskey's great from bourbon guy. Hola, Alex. Hey, you didn't miss this one, did you? I know. I apologize for not. Well, greetings. Now, the one. Where are you at in West Texas? I'm in Central Texas. I'll meet you for a beer halfway. How about that? Or a scotch. Yeah, I knew George Jones was born in Texas, of course. I'm not sure where he was born. You know where he was born? You sure he wasn't? Wait, no, sorry, I was thinking of Merle Haggard. He was an Okie. Cream about shave cream is great. The mint, I like anything mint or menthol. Well, Alex, you should go to bed. What time is it where you are? I can't remember where you live. It's 11 o'clock here. I should be going to bed too. I'm not going to make this really long, but I just thought this was a totally spur of the moment thing. I didn't plan this. I hadn't thought about it. Like I told the folks earlier, I was just driving up in my car and decided I need to have a little hangout. Chiberia. I get it, Chicago. So it's, yeah, 11 o'clock, but it's Friday night. Come on, stay up and have a drink with me. I wish I could sit on the porch and drink like that. The Midwest winter has been relentless. Yeah, I'm sure. You live in the Midwest too, honey? Yeah, it's 60 degrees here, so it's I don't need this sweater, but I got it on anyway. Oh, 4:30. What do you do? Alex, if you don't mind my asking, upcoming plans for the channel this year. I guess you're looking at it. I don't really have any plans except to keep making videos, you know, and people keep wanting to send me stuff, and so I'll try it out. That's me, the Bob Ross of shaving. What menthol products do you recommend that you can easily find in stores? I'm not sure. I haven't really looked in the stores recently for menthol stuff. The only thing I had is that Barbasol Pacific Rush, and I still don't like the scent of it. I just don't. I wish it was. When will I finally get a Barbasol sponsorship? Hopefully soon. I don't know. They haven't contacted me. Super Bowl pick? Yeah, I'm going for the Houston Oilers. They're my favorite this year. Houston Oilers coach this year, you know, Bone Phillips is looking good. Earl Campbell. That's who I'm rooting for. Hey, how's it going? My life is a me. My life is pathetic. The man with the longest screen name ever. How's your dating life going? I think last time we were on here, you were gonna go on a date with a girl, or you had just been on a date. I think the last hangout. I can't remember. I apologize. My memory is terrible. Yeah. Who asked me if I'd shaved with butter? I shaved with whipped cream. Isn't that close enough? Is everyone mad that the Patriots are in the Super Bowl? I don't follow either of those teams because I live down here. But my brother was is the biggest Saints fan, and he was so disappointed. He like was wanting to ride a. He lives in Colorado now, but he grew up in Louisiana. When my mom and stepdad moved there, when I went to college, um, yeah, he's heartbroken by the Saints. You know what a bulldogger ties are, kind of. Oh wait, Nudie, were you talking about who was asking me earlier if I wear bolo ties? No, that's kind of a nobody in Texas wears bolo ties. That's kind of a thing that you see in TV shows. Uh, yeah, Saints. Who dat say they're gonna beat them Saints? But um, yeah, it's kind of like bolo ties are like, yeah, everyone here in Texas wears cowboy hats. Hey, Syed, where'd I go to college? University of Texas. How's the response of my family by filming your shaves and talking? They don't care. they don't. They don't read. That's right. This is my. No, actually, this is a Pendleton sweater. It's a vintage one from the '70s. So yeah, this is. It's not the exact color of the dude sweater. See, it's kind of a like this is red, and I think his is more tan. Anyway, I do voiceovers for a living, Joey. But yeah, this is a vintage Pendleton sweater, just like the dude wore, but not exactly the same as the dude. But you can buy them now. I think what they're like $250. They're making them again, this exact sweater. But yeah, this is. I don't need it. It's not that cold, but it is kind of cozy to wear with the shawl collar and everything. Joey, I'm a voiceover. I do voiceover for a living. Video games and commercials and Japanese anime dubbing. Yeah, commercial voices. Yeah, video games. That's right. Like I've done a ton of voices for two of these multiplayer online games that are more for kids. They are uh, what are they? Gosh, Pirate 101 and Wizard 101. And if you're not a kid, you probably won't have heard of them, but they are huge in a certain age group. So I've got a couple of main characters on each one of those. I have a main character on Pirate 101 and Wizard 101. I've done a ton of Japanese anime dubbing English over the Japanese, and I did things like something called Mazen Kaiser and Gatchaman, Science Ninja Team Gatchaman. I did a little bit of work with Funimation, but mostly it was ADV Films when they were still in business. I don't think they're in business anymore. But I did go up to Dallas, I think once, to work with Funimation. But ADV Films used to be here in Austin, and it was great because I got tons of work back then. But that pretty much dried up. I haven't done any Japanese animation in a while, but I've done a ton of it. How you doing, Matthew? Slancha? Cheers. I can't remember exactly what I did with Funimation. It was not a big project. Uh, I think it was actually a Korean live action film that I dubbed, but I can't remember what it was called. Good. Wait a minute, Alex. You're about to go to bed. Now you're drinking wine. That's why I like you. I like that kind of attitude. She was about to call it a night. Saw there was something on the YouTubes and said, "Let's crack open a bottle of wine." Can you talk about the days that you worked on the offshore drilling? Yeah, it was one summer when I was in college. I'm trying to remember what year it was. I think it was 19. What is it? 89? It was either 89 or 90. I was in college, and my stepdad worked for Conoco at the time. He was like a drilling engineer. No, I started voice acting in 2002. Joey, I'll tell you a joke in a minute. Remind me again, okay? So my dad was or my stepdad was kind of a bigwig at Conoco, and he was able to get me a job on this offshore oil rig, because it was hard to get, because guys wanted to get those jobs because they had great benefits. They were solid jobs. I mean, you had to be a hard worker, seriously hard worker, but you could move up in the ranks. You could, it paid very well. Usually you'd work 1 week on, and then you'd have a week off. But that 1 week on was set. It would be 7 on, 7 off. So you'd work 12-hour days, 7 days in a row, and then you'd have 7 days off. Which you can get into a routine and easily work 12-hour days. It's incredible what you can do. You think, oh my God, what 12 hours? And it is dangerous. It can be very, yeah, it's great pay. I think that one summer, I think I worked 5 weeks total that summer, and I think I made $5,000. And like I said, that was in 1990, so whatever that would be in today's money. But yeah, it was great, but it was very hard work, and I felt very fortunate that I was able to go back to college in the fall, because a lot of those guys are, I'm sure, still out there in the oil patch, and that was their life, and it's hard work, but it's good work if you could get it. Have you met anybody who thought you? Yeah, no, nobody thinks I'm actually Nicolas Cage. Only people who watch my videos think I'm actually Nicolas Cage because I have a giant forehead. See, look at that, look at that forehead. Look, you can show a movie on it. That's why I like to wear hats. You did the 12 rotating shift schedule? Yeah. It's tough grind, but you can get used to it. It's crazy. Look more like Saul. Sal? You mean Saul? Like Better Call Saul? Yeah, I know. People say I look like Better Call Saul. They look, okay, tell you the joke. I don't I don't like to cuss on my, so I'll clean it up. One word. I won't use the F word. I'll use a different word because I don't want to. Okay, so I heard this joke from, I believe it was Joe Ely. I think it was Joe Ely. I was watching. He's a musician, a Texas musician. Great. Never heard of him. Check him out, Joe Ely. And I was at one of his shows. This must have been 20 years ago, and he told this joke. He said, "Yeah, so my uncle just moved out to the country, and it's the kind of place where your nearest neighbor's like 3 miles away. You got your own plot of land, you got your house on it, and your nearest neighbor's 3 miles away. So he's unpacking his truck by himself. He's pulled up the pickup truck and loading furniture in, and he sees a truck driving up the long drive from the interstate up to his house, up the dirt road. And eventually the guy gets there and he's like, "Hey, how's it going, neighbor? Just saw that you're moving in and wanted to drop by and say hello." And my uncle's like, "Oh, thanks, that's great." And the guy said, "Well, tell you what, I wanted to having a party this Friday. Wanted to invite you over since you're new to the area. Come to the party on Friday." And my uncle said, "Well, that sounds great. What's going to be happening?" And the guy said, "Oh, it's going to be drinking and dancing and fighting and screwing and raising hell." So my uncle says, "Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. What should I wear?" And the guy said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be you and me." Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. And the crowd goes silent. It's better when you use the F word instead of screwing. So if you use that, I could tell other dirty jokes, but I'm not going to. If you meet me in person, I'll tell you. Anywho, I don't know how long this hangout will last. But what's the name of the band I play in? Well, it's not really. I'm I'm in a band that only plays once a year, called the Nairobi Trio. I used to be in a band which was a Beatles tribute band called the Eggmen. I am in a band that hasn't played in a while, which is a Ruddles tribute band. If you don't know who that is, you can Google it. Called Ouch, with an exclamation point. And is there a link to join the panel? I don't think you can. I'm just using YouTube Live. I don't know how to do that. When you see those guys doing those Google Hangouts on YouTube, I'm not sure how to do that. I know, the Seven Sins video. Gold ring is my class ring from University of Texas. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Everyone thinks it's an Aggie ring. Joey hit the road. Good to see you. Good luck with your vintage Gillette. And somebody asked me what I thought of the Gillette commercial. You know, the biggest mistake that Gillette has made was not making double-edged safety razors anymore. That's the problem I see with Gillette. Those morons could make so much money if they would just make a reissue of the Fat Boy. Yeah, the Quarryman from 1959. If they would reissue that son of a gun, they'd make so much money. So they're not smart enough to do that. I don't know what to say. Do I get paid by YouTube? Extremely small amount, like nothing that you could even shake a stick at. I think you really got to get like millions of views to make any money. Oh, my other YouTube channel, yeah, it's out there. It's easy. I don't know. I still don't know why. There's a couple. Mike Wynn, who's a viewer on here, has found it. If you have found it, don't tell anyone else. It's part of a club. It's part of a very elite club of people that have found my other YouTube channel, where you can see me playing my Beatle stuff and whatever else. That's too manly to be brought back. I don't think they're more from a blue smoke on plane. Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right, Alistair. That Rockwell, where did I get it? Rockwell sent it to me. Can you believe that? They sent it to me. I know. I'm giving all my secrets away now, Mike. It's not really a secret. It's just one of those things. Yeah, so, like, when was that? When did Rockwell send that to me? Year and a half? I can't remember. 2 years ago now? But what unbelievable. But I tell you what, that Parker 99R shaves better than the Rockwell. Now, it feels much more aggressive. You can definitely feel it more. Like the Rockwell is more comfortable and does a good job. The Parker 99R, it shaves like crazy, like baby smooth with no effort. Although your skin can feel it, so it's like, I guess, really aggressive. But you know, for 25 or 30 bucks, whatever it's going for, dang, get yourself one. Thanks again to Nathan for sending that all the way from Thailand. He was going to send me another one this week, but then I got him to say, no, you know, give it to your boss. And he was going to send me a Super Speed from 1952, but I've got one from 1949, which is identical. So I told him, no, please don't. You've done enough. You've sent enough. One of these days, I'm going to have to get one of those Merkur 34Cs. Parker 99R gives you a closer shave with less effort than the Rockwell, yes. But it really, you know, you can feel it. When you create a hanger, just copy the URL at the top. Oh, dang it. So there is a way. Well, you know what? I'll look into that. I'll look into that later, like joining a panel, because that'd be kind of fun. But I didn't even, because I watch these YouTube Hangouts, and you got like people on the panel, as they say, like 6 people, and they're all actually talking. You can hear them. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? So I'll look into that. We won't do it today, because you know, I've just got this. Thank you, Stephen. Oh, I know. Selema. Selema? Is it Selema or Selema? Can I say Selema? Don't be afraid of safety razors. I know what you mean. Like when you see them, because I think I remember this from seeing my grandpa's in the bathroom, you know, in his bathroom. I was like, what? I knew it was a razor. I was like, but how does that thing work? And do you have to like take, Zane asked me that again in a minute. Safety razors, when you don't know anything about them, do look daunting and scary, but it's only because you don't understand how they work. But once you do, it's like, oh, okay, it's very simple. The only thing you have to watch out for is actually handling the razor blades, that you don't cut your fingers. And I think in the past, however many years I've been doing this, I think I've cut my finger twice, just being slightly careless. And I think I was wrapping one up to throw it away or put it in the put it away so it didn't cut anybody, and I cut myself. But no, safety razors are extremely simple. And the butterfly razors that twist to open, as you say, Alistair, are much easier to deal with because then you're not unscrewing like three pieces. You know, when you have to unscrew the head, and then you got two pieces up here, and then you got the handle, and then you got to get the thing, and you're worried. The twist open butterfly, where you just twist the bottom and it pops open, easy as pie. I love those. Love them. I should get. I think Rockwell makes one. I'd like to try that. Your grandfather used to teach you how to shave and shave your sideburns too. Yeah, I know. We're too young when our grandparents are alive. We can't appreciate them fully until they're gone. You know, when you become an adult, it's like, God, I wish I could go back and hang out with my grandfather now, as I am now. Okay, no, the Paul McCartney conspiracy is ridiculous. Saying it started in the '60s because people have overactive imaginations, and I know for some reason it's got this. I don't know if you people know what he's talking about. People believe that it started in the '60s. That Paul McCartney died in a car accident. They replaced him with a fake because, oh my gosh, the world would have been too crazy if the Beatle had died. No, and so for some reason YouTube has caused this rebirth of this ridiculous conspiracy theory, which is par for the course for YouTube. It's a breeding ground of ridiculous conspiracy theories. But it all started in the '60s, which is crazy because people were maybe they had a little too much time on their hands. Maybe they had a little too much of the old wacky weed, if you know what I mean. And they started putting pieces together. Like, oh man, look. And so they like looked through every album cover, read every lyric, listened to every song, and like tried to put all this stuff back together to prove that somehow Paul McCartney had died. And no, of course he didn't die. No, no, it's the same guy. Same guy. That kind of thing doesn't happen. It's interesting. Life would be much more interesting if that was the case, I guess. Actually, no. Life is pretty dang interesting without all that fake stuff. You don't need the fake stuff. The only Rockwell butterfly I believe is the R1. Is that what it's called? Oh yeah, the Alex Jones is Bill Hicks thing. Both of those guys were from here in Austin, and I've got a buddy that hangs out regularly with Alex Jones, and he tells me that Alex Jones has told him that most of his stuff is just BS. It's just an act. So take that for what you will. Our world is crazy enough. Our world is interesting enough. Our world is beautiful enough and fascinating enough. Uh, 21 just figured out shea oils on my neck to reduce rash. Yeah, see. Hey, John. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with all these. Trying to grow a goatee. Give it time, Stephen. Yeah, I enjoy the ride call. Apparently, you can hear the band say I buried. No, he's not saying I buried Paul. He's saying cranberry sauce. And if you know John Lennon like I do, you understand that he loved wordplay. He was a silly guy. He loved James Thurber books, which was kind of this ridiculous, silly poetry. And John wrote his own silly, nonsensical poetry. He wrote a book called A Spaniard in the Works and a couple of other books. And they're all this nonsense kind of wordplay that he just thought was interesting. And so when you say, well, why would he be saying cranberry sauce at the end? That's the kind of guy he was. And you can hear some outtakes when they were recording it where it's much more clear that he's saying cranberry sauce. And that's the way John Lennon was. And people back then, because it was buried in the mix, and I think it was slowed down a little bit, they were like, oh, he's saying I buried Paul. But he wasn't. He was saying cranberry sauce. And I think it came out in the anthology, some outtakes of them recording Strawberry Fields Forever. And it's clear as day. He says cranberry sauce. Anyway, what got me into shaving videos? I have no idea. I can't remember. I just came across a couple of YouTube videos, and that was it. I get less irritation with the safety than a cartridge. Me too. Me too. Cartridge razors, you don't need 6 blades scraping against your skin. That's just, as someone said earlier, planned obsolescence on Gillette's part and the other razor makers, and just trying to get you marketing. It's all marketing. It's like, we got 17 blades, and we've got a little aloe vera strip, and we've got a thing on the back that vibrates. It's like, it's just so they can charge you more, you know. I mean, you find these, that's what I always hated about cartridge razors. I was using like the Mach 3, you know, which had however many blades, maybe 3. And you'd go in to buy them, it'd be like $25 for 4 cartridges. You're like, oh, are you kidding me? And so you try to make it last as long as you can, and then, you know, the cartridges are dull as dishwater, and after a while you're just scraping this dull thing because you're trying to save money. And when you have a safety razor, man, those blades are cheap, cheap, cheap. You can buy, 100 of them for 14 bucks. I was looking on Amazon. You can buy those Bic ones. Good job, Fly Eagles Fly. I think I know what team you support. My wife is from Pennsylvania. Um, yeah, so those Bic ones that Nathan sent me, which are really good, uh, are $14 for 100 of them. I mean, my gosh, you can't beat that. And you can use each one, 3 or 4 shaves if you want to, or just use it for one shave and put it in the throw it away, dispose of it, recycle. You can recycle the dang things. They're made out of steel. It's fantastic. Hmm. Yeah, Sinatra Lennon is after Frank Sinatra and John Lennon. Yep, I love them both. Love them both. I can't remember who's asking me about the nightmare I had. I can't remember specifics of that nightmare that I might have told you about in an earlier hangout where I had a bad dream where I made a video where I did show the man nips, which is my number one rule. Alex, you still cold in your garage, drinking red wine? It's cold up there in Chicago. They're not recyclable? Huh, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Well, then dispose of them properly. Buy a razor blade safe. Actually, the feather blades that I have, the little plastic containers, you can slide the old razor into the container so it doesn't cut through the waste paper basket. But if you do have to throw it away, wrap it in some toilet paper, like 2 or 3 plies of it, fold it up, and then I usually, once I had them in the toilet paper, I would snap them in half. I don't know if that did anything. I just like doing it. I'm not gonna do. Well, I am gonna do a giveaway. And I keep saying this, and oh, there goes a helicopter flying over, incoming. I know I've said it 100 times already that I'm going to do this, but I'm going to get all that stuff I have in my drawer and lay it all out like on the bedspread in different little piles, like pile A, pile B, pile C, and I'll put them all together and I'll think about how to, which things, and I'll ask people to tell me which pile do they want, and you pick a pile, and maybe if 2 people pick a pile and they want to trade or something, I don't know. This is kind of why I haven't done it, because it might be difficult. And the only thing I ask is that you pay for whatever shipping is to wherever you are. And I'm not going to charge you for the actual products, but I'm not a rich man, so I can't just afford to send out stuff with free shipping. But I'm going to do that with all the stuff that I've been gifted. I'm going to keep the stuff that I use every day. I'm not going to give every single thing away. But I am going to do that. I promise you I will. Okay, it's time for an update, a drink update. I am having single malt Scotch whiskey, Aberlour Abuna. That's how I pronounce it. It is a cask strength single malt Highland whiskey, so it's not peated at all. And cask strength means that this is exactly as the whiskey came out of the barrel. Normally they add water to it. You have to do that yourself. And if you don't, you will burn your taste buds off, because 59.9% alcohol is high alcohol content. So you have to cut it with some good clean water. This is really good stuff. This is not as good. I had a bottle of this a couple of years ago, and it was better. This is good, but the last batch I had was better. How many years? This one doesn't have an age statement, but it's probably about 10 to 12 years, I would say. Glenfiddich 18. I'm sure that's good. Steven, you haven't. You keep asking me on real name. You just have to go find my other channel. Till then, you can call me the Bob Ross of shaving. Sinatra Lennon. Your friend, your pal, your YouTube buddy on a cold winter's night in February. Hey, tomorrow's Groundhog's Day, y'all. What's old Punxsutawney Phil up to right now? How many did I have? This is my first. First and only. I'm just having a wee dram tonight. Oh, no, I can't do a Scottish accent. Or Irish. I can do British accents, but not Scottish. What items do you use when you started shaving? You mean like, well, thank you, Stephen. YouTube father. I'm your YouTube um, uncle. I wouldn't call I wouldn't call myself. I'm my kid's father, but I'm your father figure. No, your mentor. How about that? Bob Ross, Sinatra Lennon, the Bob Ross of shaving. Your friendly um, mentor. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along, like everything else. What were we talking about? Oh, what did I start shaving with? You mean like when I first started growing a beard, or when I got into safety razor shaving? Any good Texas bourbons I enjoy? Um, well, I'm not a giant bourbon guy, but I have had the Balcones single malt, which was good. I've had the Balcones. What is it? It's like a smoky whiskey. And I've had this stuff from Smithville called Bone Bourbon, which was good. And it's actually distilled, bottled, and aged in Texas. I've had Garrison Brothers Bourbon, which is not as good as what they want to charge you for it. But I have seen the prices go down because people obviously weren't buying it for $89 a bottle. It was definitely not worth that. But I did visit the distillery out near Johnson City, out near the LBJ Ranch, and that was cool to see a real distillery making bourbon, Texas straight bourbon. Which, because in Texas you can't age whiskey for very long because it gets too hot here; it would evaporate. Yeah, $89 a bottle is. I'll tell you, I was gifted this, but this is about $80, and that's way rich for my blood. Way rich. I usually, yeah, I know, me too. Like I stick to the famous grouse, which is $20 a bottle. But then what British accent do you want? Do you want upper class? Do you want kind of lower class Rolling Stones? Do you want Liverpudlian like Beatles? What's your favorite Barbasol? I like the original. What's my favorite Sinatra? I like the entirety of the In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning, and also his most popular stuff. I love the Vegas Rat Pack era stuff. I wish I could go back in time to 1960. You want both? Right. Let's talk like this then. I'm going to talk in this sort of a, lower class British accent. Sort of like not exactly. It's not Cockney. It's not like Keith Richards and nothing like that. It's sort of this, sort of London accent. You want them all because you're a girl. That's right. Alex the girl. Girl Alex. So that's the working class. What the heck was that? You hear that squealing in the background? And then sort of the more proper British, the upper class, the BBC sort of thing, the announcer, what and all that, what have you. And here we are having a nice, a little dram of scotch on the porch this evening. And let's see, and we do sort of the Liverpool accent like the Beatles. I've been to Liverpool a couple of times. It was very nice up there. Everyone there, I could sit and listen to them talk for hours, talking like this. I loved it. Anyway, so that's that's a little sampling of my British. In fact, the only thing I can tell you about the voices I did this past week for the project I work on was that it was a British accent, and it was sort of that, sort of like this, the lower British, lower working class sort of, thing. Oh, that last. That last little bit, I kind of went back into some twang or something. I said fang, British fang, mate. Yeah, right. In it, I didn't say. Talk about your trip in London with blood and ice. Blood and ice. What? Yeah, I went. We were in London. Able to do a New York accent. That's not one I normally do. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I could even do like a New York accent. I can't really figure one out right off top of my head or something like that. Yeah, forget about it. Okay. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about some words to use. German? I don't know. This is the German accent, yeah, that I'm using. I don't know if this is correct. Perhaps this is Austrian or something like this. How about that? A name reveal at 6,000 subs. Australian is too hard. I can't do it. I can't do Australian. It's a very like Scottish and Irish. I can't do it. Oh, the only Irish I could do is sort of like a like a leprechaun. It's sort of a fake, sort of Irish. No, Russian's also kind of hard. The Russian. This is how you say the Russian drink vodka. They don't drink this Scotch. Your son threw. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. New Jersey. My wife was born in New Jersey. She was born in Princeton. She grew up in Pennsylvania, though. The one. How do you remember that story um, about me getting conked on the head in England? How you say? That's right. Hey, fly, Eagles, fly. Are you? What part of Pennsylvania are you from? Because I love that sort of Wooder Ice, that sort of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Philly accent. I can't really do that one either, but it was like, hey guys, let's go down to the Wawa and get a hoagie. That's about all I could do. Let's go down to the Wawa and get a hoagie. Mike the Night. California. Philadelphia, yeah. Yeah, I've been to Philadelphia. I like that place. I love the history of it. My wife grew up in Bucks County, so you know where that is. Had you shave the same thing every day, what would your gear be? Every day? Well, I'd probably have to use the Rockwell, and I don't shave with a brush every day, so I probably have to go with the Barbasol. Just like on a normal shaving standpoint, I prefer, shaving creams like the good stuff is better than Barbasol as far as like slickness, but just for, hey Caden, finally Caden's here, guys, everybody. Caden finally made it. Goodness gracious, good to see you, Caden. Pardon me, I need some water. Hold on one second, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I can't give you anything to look at except these trees and my chair. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. The old witch cup. That's my water cup. Pardon me. Alex, are you still hanging out in the cold garage there in Chicago? Do you have a blanket around you at least, or something? I know you got some wine to keep you warm, but hopefully you got something to keep you warm. No, I don't speak Spanish. I began to learn it. I've lived in Texas my whole life, so I can understand some of it. And I can use some words, very few. And I started to learn it a little bit more a couple of years ago, but I haven't kept up with the lessons, the online lessons. And I really want to, dang it. But I can understand a little bit more. Good, just had a smoke. ¿Cómo está, señor? Muy bien. ¿Y tú? I've got a good accent for it. Like, I can pronounce Spanish correctly. I can pronounce French. I took French in middle school for some reason, which is silly. Living in Texas, you don't need to know French. It's better to know Spanish. I wish my kids were taking it. I know. Like I said, I'm a professional voiceover guy. I have to be able to. Alex, I don't only get excited about Caden. I'm excited about you too. I'm just playing it cool, you see. That's what I'm doing. I mean, if I got as excited, you know, as I actually am when I see that you're here, Alex, then what would people think? That would be untoward, ungentlemanly of me. Of course, I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see all you people. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't excited. But Caden has a certain amount of enthusiasm that I try to return in kind. You know what I mean? I'm excited that Beans is here doing his little faces. Look at that. He made a little face thing. And Steven's here. And El Corcoran's here. Yep, I had to take we had to take languages too. Language arts, I think they called it. Back in high school, middle school and high school. Who's my idol? Boy, I don't know. I don't have a specific person. But how about shaving with a straight razor, Lennon? Oh, I'm just kidding you, Alex. Come on. You know me. Yes. Straight razor. How about that? Was I hinting at the fact that I might have a straight razor now? Was I hinting at the fact that some company sent me a straight razor and that I've been using it? That I've been practicing with it? That I've been trying to, that I've been shaving with it every now and then without you guys knowing about it? Oh, thanks, Juan Carlos. That's cool. I always like that. But yeah, I was sent a straight razor by a company called Naked Armor, and they gave me a choice. They said, "Do you want one of our safety razors, or do you want a straight razor?" I was like, "I got a million safety razors. Please send me a straight razor because I don't have a real one, and I'm not going to buy one for myself." And so I got it, and then it doesn't come with a strop. It doesn't come with a sharpening stone. It was just a straight razor. And so I went on Amazon and I bought a cheap strop, and I bought a cheap honing stone, which should arrive tomorrow. And I've been practicing with it. I've been stropping it. I've been shaving with it. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it until I make a video with it. But yes, this morning I shaved with a straight razor. I tell you, it's pretty cool. Very happy to be here. Good, Steven. Salema. Surprised they didn't send you a straw. I know. I was hoping they'd send me like a whole kit. Your wife must be so proud of you for you. No, she doesn't care. Believe me, Caden. She's like, whatever. Roll your eyes. But that's okay. As I think we've discussed in previous hangouts, not all wives are into what their husbands are into. Certainly, that's probably more often than not the case. Like if the guy's huge into football, or he's huge into his bowling league, or yeah. Am I the only shirtless shaver on YouTube? I don't watch too many YouTube shavers, but all the ones I've seen are all wearing shirts. It's kind of weird. I know. You want to see that straight razor shave? I know. That's why I'm kind of teasing it the way I was, because it's a big deal to use a straight razor, and I have some opinions on it. I have some opinions, and I have some experience now, and I'm going to keep, as soon as I get the honing stone tomorrow, I'm going to hone it, I'm going to sharpen it up, I'm going to strop it, I'm going to shave with it. You'll see. I'm going to share it with you too. Was there blood spilled this morning? Maybe a little bit. Sorry, I was just savoring the scotch. Yeah, synthetic brushes. Tiny little battle scars that are, learning. That's what they are. They're learning marks. Yeah, synthetic brushes are way more forgiving than Badger brushes. And they're easier to use. They're more forgiving. Like you can't overload them, it doesn't seem, with water. And yeah, I love them. Husband snoring already. Oh my goodness. Wait, so you went back upstairs. Wait, are you in bed watching this and listening on headphones? James Bones drink from the same glass. Is that right? Well, I hope so. He's Sean Connery's a Scotsman drinking from, this is called a Glencairn glass. It's what you're supposed to drink nice. It looks gross now. That's not dirty. It's just from my breath. Believe me, that's what you're supposed to use to really be able to appreciate the scotch. You pour it in there and you can swirl around, you can sniff it and sip it, you know. I prefer to drink out of highballs, but when I'm drinking the single malt stuff, I drink it out of that. On the couch next to him. He fell asleep on the couch. I can't tell you how often I fall asleep on the couch. I love sleeping on the couch. And in fact, it's gotten so bad in the past, uh, well, for a long time now. My 8-year old will wake up in the middle of the night and come get in bed with me and my wife. And he is so big now that he pushes me out of the bed and I have to leave. So I get tired of waking up in the middle of the night, having to leave, having to walk downstairs, have to find some other place to sleep in the like at 4 o'clock in the morning. So now, like last night, I just started out on the couch because I knew my son was gonna go to up into bed, and he did. Sometimes he doesn't, but there's no telling when he's going to when he's not. Oh my gosh, he'll grow out of it soon. Believe me, there's no there's no 12-year-olds that want to sleep anywhere near their parents once they're that age. I know, isn't that weird? We have the best couch. We have one of those couches like an L shape, and it's got like this microfiber or whatever. This is the most boring conversation ever. What are we talking about couches for? God almighty. I just caught myself talking about microfiber couches like a 48-year-old man. Oh my goodness. Well, we're almost at an hour here, folks. I think we should shut her down for the night because it's almost midnight and I got to find a place to sleep where my son's not going to kick me out. When he grows up, at least he'll be able to teach him proper shave. Yeah, at least that. Talk about mattress. Friday night cough talk. Call it a night. Good old Big Lebowski sweater. I know. L-shaped and five recliners. Oh my God, I'm coming to your house. Next time I'm in Chicago, Alex, we're all gonna fall asleep on your couch watching one of my videos. Won't that be weird? I thought you meant because I was coughing. My throat was getting dry from the scotch. But anyway, well, we got 2 more minutes. Let's burn a minute and 55 seconds. Oh no. Caden, I can't go all night. Not anymore. Don't want to. I got things to do tomorrow. Got a tennis practice for the little one tomorrow and something else. I think I'm going to go see my friend play live tomorrow night if I can stay awake. Anyway, come over. Everyone's invited. Thank you. Get the whole family over there for no ice with your scotch. Only if I'm drinking a single malt. You shouldn't put single malt on ice. But blended scotch, yeah, ice all the time. Was my dream razor of all time I'd like to have? I think I already have it. I think it's a combination of the Rockwell and the Fat Boy and whatever else I have. You know, I don't have one because I mean I don't know what other ones are like. You know. But good night, Chris. So I don't really have a dream one. Yeah, Steven, I'll do more live chats. I don't do very often, but every now and then the urge catches me like it did tonight. It's right back at you, buddy. Thanks for watching. Thanks everybody for watching. I mean, I wouldn't be here without you guys and girls. Good night, Michael. Yeah, let's call it a night, everybody. What do you say? Take care, fly Eagles, fly. Take care, Salima. I'm not a big fan of cognacs or brandy. I'll drink it, of course, but I'm not a huge fan. Good night, Caden, Alistair. I'll try the Razorine. El Corcoran, Khaled, from Quartering, Alex. Everybody have a good one. Thanks for joining me tonight, y'all. It's been fun. It's like a nice little quick one. Got more videos coming up. Got more things. I got this cool vintage razor to show you that I'd never heard of before last week. So that'll be interesting. I got some shaving cream from England that somebody recommended. It's got menthol in it. Yeah, next live stream from Alex's couch, everybody. Come on, let's go. So yeah, got more stuff coming up. No definite plans of anything, except the giveaway of all the stuff that I've been given, and just this kind of stuff. So anyway, I appreciate you all. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. My hat's off to you. Good night, everybody. And now the 10 minutes where I try to close this thing out. Good night, W37. I wish I was Tim Allen, or at least have his